She's from Holy Dove Senior Secondary School in Monkunyu, Kasese district. Now she says she has a poem and she also has a testimony. So we'll start with the poem before we can hear her story.
Thank you. By the names of this Asia from Holy Dove in Monkunyu sub-county. Gone are the days when love was blind, to make you fall in a pit so deep. Gone are the time for boys and girls set for pleasure but lose their lives. Young girls, watch out for sugar daddies. They will make your life to go just a train, and you end up going in the, and you end up dying so soon. Defilers. When you think of sex, don't just think of young ones. You are a destroyer and have no mercy for young girls. Oh, our cry, we the young single parents, the victim of defilers. By the names of this.
Thank you very much. That's a small poem. Let's really clap for her. She says sugar daddies, you actually, if you rely on sugar daddies, you're going to die so soon. If you, then she sends out a message to the defilers. Why do you look for the young ones only? Why don't you look for the older ones? You know, why is it the young girls that you're going to defile? Now let's hear her story in just a short while. We're going to give her about 3-5 minutes to tell her story. Her name is Chisuchi Asia. She's from Chinyamaseke, but she's a student of Holy Dove Secondary School. She was impregnated when she was in primary 7. When she found out she was pregnant, she dropped out of school. So she went back home and she realized that life at home was not any good, not any better. She went back home to her mother, and when it came to time for giving birth, she had a safe delivery. After she gave birth, her mother went to her primary school where she was about to do her primary living examinations and told the teachers that she had given birth safely and needs to be given time to do exams. So the teachers allowed her to do exams. She did her exams. When the results were out, she had passed. When she told so she wanted to further her education and go to secondary school, but when she told her mother told her, no, you cannot do that. So she wanted her to go and do arts and crafts and, you know, that kind of thing, which she did not want to do, really. When her mother tried to convince her father that, look, this girl needs to go back to school, he was not exactly agreeing to what she was saying. So So she tried to explain to her parents, and her parents did not exactly understand her point of view. She wanted to go back to school. They did not want her to continue with education. So she wanted to leave her child at her parents' home, and they didn't accept. So she took the child to the boys' or the father's home, but he did not as well accept to live with them. Wow, so she found another man who said he was going to look after her child and take her back to school and all that, but all these were just empty promises. So what she did, she left the man and went to her grandmother's place and started living there. Sorry about that. She went to the mother, and she realized her mother had gotten married to somebody else, and this was really a problem for her. She could not live with her stepfather, and then she only had an option of going back to live with her grandmother. She's back to school right now, and the child is living with her grandmother. And she's now about going to her senior 4. She's now in senior 3. She's going to senior 4 next year. So I think that is a really touching story. She's now 17 years old, and she has a 3-year-old child. And, well, this is a sad story. I think quite a number of sad stories we're going to be listening to today. And right now, I would like to find out from you, what would you like your life to be like? She would like to have a good life, but you know, she admires people who are going to school, but when she tries to really look at her life, she feels that there's nowhere she gets her school dues from, her school fees, she cannot get it, and that is her biggest challenge right now. Her father sent her out of the home, and right now she really wants to get a better life. But the only problem here is she doesn't even know how she's going to bring up her child. Her child is just 3 years, and it's already really hard. She's going to school, she's looking after her child, and she's also, you know, looking after her grandmother in this case, if I will add that. So the situation is not good. That is Asia. She is a 17-year-old. She gave birth at the age of 14. I really don't want to put myself in her shoes. That's a very bad situation. But let's try to listen to the stories. Let's listen to the testimonies now. We're going to have